What's up, everybody? Jay here with a movie review for one of Brian DePalma films, and that movie is the movie Blowout, which stars John Travolta and Nancy Allen, and also stars John Lithgow and Danish Friends. Um, what can I say about this movie? I mean, to me, I think it's one of Brian De Palma's most underrated films. I mean, because a lot of people don't really talk about this film as much when they're discussing Brian De Palma films. I mean, people talk about mostly Carrie, Scarface, The Untouchables, Carlito's Way, even Mission Impossible. You know, but Blowout rarely gets mentioned. I mean, the first time I even really heard anything about Blowout was not from anybody affiliated with the movie at all. It was from an interview with Quentin Tarantino where he said the reason why he wanted John Travolta in Pulp Fiction is because of his performance in this movie. So I finally got around to buying it and I watched it. I really enjoyed it. And then earlier today, matter of fact, I watched it again so I could do this review on it, and I even liked it more. Sitting really and watching this movie, further it starts off very interesting by is the opening scene is kind of Halloween esque, where it's the from the POV of a killer. So you think you're watching a horror movie at first until right when the killer's about to kill this girl in the shower, she screams, and it's one of the worst screams you would ever hear in probably ever. And then all of a sudden it cuts, kind of zooms out to where we're like, oh, wait a minute, we're not watching an actual horror movie, we're watching somebody watching a horror movie. So it's like a movie inside of a movie that we're watching. And the guy sitting behind this panel is John Travolta's character, who's Jack Terry. That's his name. He's the sound man, and the director and a couple other people are there too. And the director's like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "What is this? This scream is one of the worst screams ever." And John Travolta is kind of laughing about it, like, "Yeah, I didn't dub it. That's her scream." So the director was like, I want a better. Go find me a better scream or something, and also I want some other sound effects." So Travolta says, "Okay, all right, I'll go get you some more sound effects." So he goes out to this bridge, and he has on his sound equipment, getting picking up different sounds and everything. And in the midst of all this, he records a car accident, and he basically, yeah, he records the car accident, and because the car goes into the creek and everything, Travolta he runs down, dives in the water. There was a man and woman in the car. He saves the woman, but the man was already dead. He gets the girl to the hospital and everything. Come to find out, the man that was driving the car was actually a governor, and that he was actually a potential presidential candidate. So Travolta he starts thinking like, okay, what the hell have I gotten myself mixed up into? And this guy who works for the governor tells Travolta that for you to be quiet, keep your mouth shut, don't say nothing to nobody. So he's like, well, what about the girl? And the girl, Sally, that was the girl that was inside the car, played by Nancy Allen, is the only other person that can link, the fact that she was inside this car with this governor who she was not married to, besides John Travolta. So the guy says, well, we're gonna keep her quiet too. Get out of here. You never met her. There. So Travolta actually leaves with Sally. They go to a motel and everything. She's kind of still doped up and out of it from the accident and being in the hospital. So Travolta, he's sitting there, he's listening to his audio, and he he's listening back to it and everything. And then in the midst of the audio, he figures out that there's a gunshot fired before he actually hear the tire blow out, which lets him know that there's something more going on here. So Travolta then, kind of gets paranoid and start going. That's what basically fuels the movie from this point on is him trying to prove that this actually was an assassination, not just an accident, which everybody else want to just write it off as an accident. Um, I think this is one of John Travolta's best performances in any movie that I've ever seen him in, and it is very low. It's not. I won't say low key how he does it, but it's very realistic. Where this is just a normal guy who has a regular job as a sound man. He does one thing. He's a sound man, but he wants to prove you know this case or whatever that this is what really happened. I kind of like how Brian De Palma, because he also wrote the film, how he kind of mixed political things into it. Because from what I've heard, is that this was supposedly inspired by something that supposedly happened years and years ago with I think it's John F. Kennedy. Matter of fact, I think that's who it was. I'm not sure that something like this kind of happened with him. Of course, he didn't die in that car in his accident, but um, is room like I say from what I've heard and anything I read and stuff that that's where that kind of based off from. So there's that, and of course the whole cover up, and then how Brian De Palma also brought how he really kind of showed a behind the scenes of what actually goes into filmmaking by showing certain scenes of John Travolta character, with the whole sound mixing and the editing and stuff. I thought that was really done very well. Um, Nancy Allen, who I've only seen her in the RoboCop films and her small, I'll say, glorified cameo in the movie Out of Sight. So I never really seen her, in anything else except for those movies. I know she had been in other stuff, but I never actually seen her in other stuff. And I thought in this movie that she, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. I mean, I don't know if it's just her acting or if it was how the character is supposed to really be portrayed, but it's almost like she's a little bombastic in certain scenes. She's like all over the place and kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, type of thing like that. It's like she's kind of ditzy or whatever, but then she's not in some scenes. I don't know if that was a, a thing that was. I really don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, but for anyone who's seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for anyone who hasn't, who do watch it, you'll kind of understand better. But like I say, she's kind of like a little all over the place. But I mean, it's still a good performance. I mean, she's the leading lady in the movie and everything, and I think she's sweet and kind of innocent a lot too in the movie. But for me, I would like to have seen a little bit more with the Danish Friends character, who his name was what was his name? Came on Manny. That's right. That was his name, Manny. He was like Sally's boyfriend or whatever. I wouldn't really say boyfriend, but they had this scheme of where they would basically she was like a working girl and she would get with customers and he basically would come in and take a whole bunch of photographs of them and then the guys would be so embarrassed because they were married and stuff like that. They would pay him off and stuff like that's how they was getting money and I think that's what was going on with the whole her being with the governor and his car. That's what they was gonna try to do with that. But of course that went totally sideways. So excuse me. Um but I mean it was funny watching Dennis Franz play that kind of sleazy, loser kind of guy role when I excuse me. Ugh, okay. Anyway, it's kind of funny, watching him play that kind of role. When I mean, the guy's known for playing cops and everything. NYPD Blue being probably the biggest thing he's ever, he's most known for and everything. But stand out for me was John Lithgow's character, who was very. I really enjoyed what De Palma did with that character. He's actually the guy who's behind the whole assassination anyway. I mean, he was hired by somebody, who is a government official type people. I don't want to say CIA or anything, but I would say CIA esque. That's what I got from the movie. But what he did with that character is kind of unique in a way. The guy was only supposed to cause the car to make have an accident. He ends up shooting a tire out, and the governor dies. Which in a scene is it's kind of funny when he's talking to I guess the people who this guy who hired him actually, and the guy tells him say, "That was not our original plan. You were supposed to just cause the accident. You weren't supposed to kill him." He's like, we dis, we didn't want when you proposed that plan to us. That's not the plan that we wanted. And he's like, well, you still got the right results because he's out of the race and everything like this. Just so happened he's dead, type of thing. It's like you wasn't supposed to kill the guy. You just supposed to make him have an accident. But he kills him, and he said, "Well, so what? He's out of the picture, and that's what you wanted. So who cares?" It's kind of funny seeing that. But one thing that happened in the movie where John Lithgow character is supposed to be covering the loose ends. So he's basically supposed to try to kill. He's supposed to kill Sally because she was in the car with him. So he's telling this girl who is who we think is Sally. He's telling the girl, and right when she was about to get on the bus, he comes out with a rope with this contraption that he has on his wristwatch to strangle her with. So he, yokes the girl and takes her and he strangles her, and then when he turns over, it's not actually Sally. It's somebody else who kind of looks a lot like Sally. So in his quick thinking, he stabs her a bunch of times and then kind of leaves a calling card to make it seem like it's a serial killer. So he kills a few other girls too in the process to make it seem like there's a serial killer around. To when he finally do kill Sally, he'll kill her in the same way, and people write it off as that. Oh, she just so happened to be killed by the serial killer because this guy goes around. The pattern is this guy kills these girls who look the same, which I thought was very clever in the script writing and filmmaking process. I mean, actually, I would like to see. To be honest, it would be cool to see a movie kind of like that, but a whole movie like that. But I thought that was something that was an interesting twist too, because there's a little slasher element in this movie. So there's kind of a lot of different elements to this movie. I mean, you got the whole voyeurism type thing, but with the whole audio, listening type of thing. You got the political, mystery thriller thing going on. Then you have the little slasher, thing that's going on too. So there's a good blend of different type of genres going on in this movie. And like I said, I really don't understand after watching this movie twice. I mean, I don't understand why more people don't really know about Blowout, or even talk about it. I mean, like I say, John Travolta is really good in it and everything, and it's just a really good movie to watch. And it's good for people who are into filmmaking to see like how certain things are done. Like I said about the whole sound editing and the mixing and stuff like that. Just a really good movie to watch and something I highly recommend for anybody who likes really good, well drawn out type of movies. So that's pretty much all I want to say about Blowout. Like I say, for anyone who hasn't seen it, I highly recommend watching it at least once, maybe even twice. And I'm trying to start this whole series of reviewing movies. And like I say, the first director, by a director that is, and first director I'm going to be doing this with is Brian DePalma Films, and it's going to be only the movies that I own. So unfortunately, I won't be doing Carrie, or Dress to Kill, or some of his ones that I don't own. And I'm kind of debating whether or not I'm gonna do Scarface since I already reviewed Scarface. I'm trying to stay away from doing repeats on certain things. So I don't know, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe again, I might do Scarface because it's gonna be from talking about the directors. So I will do Scarface. So I will see you guys in the next video where about the Brian De Palma films where I talk about the movie Scarface. So I thank you guys for watching, and rate, comment, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will catch you guys next time when I talk about the movie Scarface. And that's it. So catch you guys later. Peace.